Okay, thank you very much. Let's get started. First of all, let me just show you some kind of a disclaimer. This is about in this lecture, I'm discussing investigative activities using phishing communities. However, I do not encourage you to casually peeking into phishing activities or accessing phishing sites within the phishing community. So contacting phishing actors, even with the sole purpose of observing, is an action that could potentially expose you to detection by the phishing actors. Okay, so I'm Tsuboi from NTT Communications, and also from NTT Communications Corporations, and also Mr. Masumoto will talk about it. So this is for both of us, and two of us are the first time to make the presentation in the JSAC. So in these days, there has been a rising trend in phishing scam incidents. The emergence of and phishing as a service has contributed to the rapid expansion of the ecosystem, so leading to the further specialization and the division of labor among the phishing actors, so that we have been engaged in the tracking the activities of phishing actors to understand the phishing scams better. So I'd like to share our insights about the investigations, and I hope that we aim to share insights, including the case and the studies with phishing actors, and I'd like to make contributions to you. This is the agenda today. First of all, I'm going to talk about the recent phishing incident status, and after that, Mr. Masumoto will explain about the phishing communities and the phishing actors' activities. After this, I'm going to explain about the analysis of phishing kits, and it will be concluded with summary. So first of all, let me talk about recent phishing incidents. So the Anti-Phishing Council has been publishing monthly reports on the phishing incident status, and so that in the past 5 years is now have been increasing, just like this. So that the number of reports for the year 2023 that was 1.1 million, and surpassing the 2022 figure of 968,000 incidents. So compared to the 2 years ago, and it had become 1.2 times, and have become 20 times more incidents than we have in the past 5 years. Also, it's mentioned in that the guidelines of the phishing commissions. So now there are there's also the dividing of the responsibility is now have been established. So in the ecosystem, with this ecosystem establishment, that now it getting all the more easy to implement this phishing attacks. This is one of the reasons of increasing incidents. So now we think that the division of labor phishing activities is one of the focus of its investigations, and now we will have investigated for these phishing communities where those actors interact.
Okay, from this point on, I'd like to talk about the analysis of phishing kits. Earlier, Masumoto-san told you about the phishing kit, phishing actor, phishing communities, etc. And we actually did the analysis of phishing kits we obtained, and what sort of actions they've taken, and what sort of behaviors they are doing. And disguising a certain brand. One example is Amazon scam. This is actually an active phishing kit because we saw this in January already. Look into this file. There is a main PHP, and kind of debug mode is set. It says is debug, so we call this as debug mode. And when that is turned on, and cloaking functionality is activated. Let me look into the structure. I just put a very simple name here. So the phishing kit disguising as Amazon. It has access source information collection function, cloaking function, crawler detection function, and phishing content. These four functionalities were packaged together. First, about the access source information collection function. First, IP address is collected from the request header, and also in the request header, user agent OS information, web browser information seems to be collected also. And also from session information, there I think in looking into a country name. If there's no country name, using external service, they obtain geographical information. If they fail the first attempt, then they use the second external service, though they are using probably the two-step mechanism. And earlier I said that the ISP is taken with IP address. And the next is about the cloaking information. The debug functionality is turned on, and this becomes valid. The collected various information at the access source information collection functionality are used to make a decision. First, the name of the host. In a phishing kit, there is a definition of to be denied host. So they are just do a comparison and cross-check. And this seems it is looking at the IP range, whether that is that matches the access source IP address, and the user agent, if that is included in the list of denial.
So this is to compare the ISP of the access source with the defined list of denied ISPs within the phishing kits and make a determination. This is one that determine if the web browser of the access source client is not defined within the phishing kits as an allowed web browser. Similarly, so the determine if the OS of the access source client is not defined within the phishing kit as an allowed OS. And so in the case that if that's the an access source is accessing from the somewhere other than the local host, the query an external service for the access source IP address and check if the access source is using a VPN or proxy. So this is that, and check whether the once is set in the session. Once, in case that we have once the access before, and it will be flagged or something like that. So that's why it's inferred that once is the flag indicating an access source that has already been compromised once. So this is that, and define a list of allowed countries and to check whether the collected country name is included in the list. So for example, in the Japan or JP is defined as the list of allowed countries. It can be inferred that the kit is targeting only Japan in this case. So next, this is about the crawler detection functions, and it's not implemented, but they take advantage of the external tool, utilize external tools like a crawler detects and referral spam detect. In the case of the crawler tools, so that they check out about some text strings that are there. So that's the crawler detect to confirm whether specific strings are present, and the referrer, the spam detect to confirm whether specific strings are present in the referrer. Next, let me get into the phishing contents. The phishing content is structured using Vue.js, and the index.html file. So there's plenty, so the views the router and the routing is implemented, so a lot of contents are a couple of JavaScripts will be the code depending on the phishing sites requirements. So this is an actual login screen of phishing sites, just like it's quite similar to the login screen of the login page of Amazon. And then when you enter your information and go on to the next, now you're required to inputs that the personal and the information, so that, and once the personal information is put in, and then go on to next. They're required to, they ask you the credit card information, and they will make an entry. And actually, this credit card information is that if we just have the system can detect some kind of and the wrong information, so that the ones also they use the external service, that's the information the credit card is proper or not. So this is 3D secure entry and make a submit. Now that all the information was stolen. So once all the information was entered so far, then it will be recorded in the text files and it's been sent to the phishing actor by email. This is the send mail is find out, and at the bottom part of it, this is the parts of it. Just like this, for that the Amazon phishing kit named that view JS, and it conducted the information gathering from the request headers and the sessions of the accessing source and implements a detailed detection process to incorporate the cloaking techniques. Crawler detection processes are simplified by using external tools. And the information entered on the phishing site is first outputted to the text file and then directly sent via email to the phishing actor. So this is the first case. Next, let me explain about the phishing kits disgusting the SMBC. In the case of this is about the phishing kit of the SMBC, and for this the phishing kits for the SMBC, and in the zip file, README file is included, and we'll look into that, for example, and the environment or sync PHP is used, or then all the information are there. So that's now that all that what kind of environment are there. So there are two different types. The number one is that the configurable settings of the phishing kits are defined in the PHP files, but this is too much details. I'm going to skip it. But actually, this is let me introduce about the setup and the configurations used by the actors. And this is the user targets or some destination redirects or IP registry service and API for key for some. The specification of the storage location for obtained information that can be set up. So these are about all these the efficient. So compared to the Amazon's case, and now number 5, acquired information management function. This is what we have named it. So this is the function, acquired information management function. So I'm going to explain in details after this. Okay, first of all, so this is the access source information collection function. So they utilize the IP registry of external services to acquire access source information. So compared to the Amazon, the request header is not captured from the session, not that. So this is about the cloaking function. They conduct evaluation of access denial criteria defined in the phishing kit. The assessment criteria are as follows. Number 1. This behavior suggests that the phishing kit is targeting mobile users. So they're going to direct to the local host. So that the phishing kit per se is now targeting the mobile user, we suppose. Number 2, cloaking process is checking whether that access is coming from an environment significantly different from the typical environment that regular users use. So hosting services or proxy or using VPN, or that is just check out externally. So in case they seem like they use it, so they try to redirect to the local host. So and if there's a confirmation that the general users are making access, they will go into the number 3. So this within this process, it is determining whether the access source has been compromised. If the access source has been compromised, it redirects it to the genuine SMBC site as configured, because it doesn't make any sense for them to get that. So this is about the crawler detection function, and I mentioned about I mentioned in Amazon they use that and outsourcing services, but now retrieve information such as the referrer, user agent, server name, and now the details from the request information. It's not so much going through any complicated process. This is the phishing contents. So this is about the free pass login screen of the SMBC. So when making a login, so they enter the DB, so that they try to register the data in their DB. Next, this is about the credit card information. So when it makes the entry, again, that's now it will be stored and registered in DB. And they were just requested to make the personal information, and then again, they're all registered in DB. Now, 3D secure information is now required to put in, so that when you make entry there, now also registered in DB, and finally it will be successful. So after this, So there's all the URL config.js. That URS, the preceding URS, is the target for the redirecting. And for example, and 5,000 millisecond, that event after the 5 seconds, now that they migrate into the next screen. So in the case of the phishing kit for the Amazon, they're different from that case. Now, and once that's an information entered in the phishing site, how they can retrieve it and exfiltrate it? Is it stored in the database? So once that there is an administration screen to check out what the information is stored. I'm sorry, I couldn't reproduce it, and it's very too much simple. But once that information is acquired, and then on some of the screen can list up on all these informations, and that's also in the part of the phishing tools that are packages together. SQL file SQL files are also there, so that some SQL file and MySQL they use it to check out the files. And also again, once that information then is acquired, that can be output onto the file. So when it comes to all this, the SMBC related phishing kits, and now they're using this and the Vue.js. So compared to their cloaking and implementing, compared to that information acquired from the outside service, external service. In the case of Amazon, they use it for us, but it's a little bit different from here. And different from the Amazons, and the crawler it's not so much of the emphasis for that once the information is stored in the database on the server, where the phishing kit is deployed, phishing actors can review the information in a list and perform the text file output through that administration interface.
So far, we could identify the structure of the phishing kit by issuing the iOS. And then by generating that, I think we can utilize this for hunting against the SIEM log or analyze the unknown sites. Today, I'd like to talk about indicator of KIT, one of the intelligence utilization. IOK, in the first place, is an open source detection rule format designed to detect the phishing site and analyze. It's based on a Sigma rule and indicator of compromise specifically for phishing site is described by YAML format. And generated IOK can send a pull request to GitHub repository, and the published indicators can be used to utilize the phishing site investigation which matches IOC conditions. To be more specific, phishing report web screen is shown here, and it's a bit difficult to see, but at the bottom it says examples, and you can enter information of IOK, and with arrow, you know that the update button is there, and you can press that, and your RLS can IO a registration result can be obtained. So in case of the Amazon scam rule, that was generated and checked if that has a match on this example. So in summary, the phishing kits targeting Japan exhibit distinct characteristics for each kit, but they commonly incorporate various cloaking techniques to evade detection and circumvent access by phishing hunters or on-site responders. By analyzing the content of phishing kits, we could understand the cloaking techniques implemented by phishing actors to evade detection. And generating IOSCs, indicators of compromise, from phishing kits for investigating phishing sites allows for the streamlining of similar phishing site investigation and enhancing efficiency in the process. Okay, conclusion. In the phishing community, buying and selling of tools that simplify the misuse and monetization of phishing kits and personal information by phishing actors is believed to contribute to the division of labor in phishing activities. This practice helps establish and maintain a system where various aspects of phishing are delegated and specialized. And phishing actors is a very diverse group, and they are existing near you. And the phishing community actors with various roles engage in active interactions and exchange information and collaborate with each other. And each phishing kit has its own characteristics, and by generating sharing IOC based on analysis results, it becomes possible to aid in the investigation of similar phishing sites. So we need to collaborate each other as defenders, and altogether our efforts can be made to mitigate and eradicate phishing incidents. Thank you very much.